I appreciate you joining me for the restoration of the fire station that I'm going to turn into my new Scratch Fab Work Shop. As a part of this build, it's trying to figure out, what do I do with the building? Not only just restoring it, but what changes do I make so that it's really keeps the kind of the essence of the building, but yet makes it functional. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and in today's video I bring up a big change that I ultimately end up making, and you'll hear more about that next video. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll dive in and get started. Here we go. Good afternoon. Today I'm going to start framing the walls to get the structure back in them so that the building won't rack. In the last video, showed you getting everything all squared, plumbed, getting everything set up, getting this big post back here put in to get it ready for framing. So today I'm going to be pulling out all of these half walls here, and I'm going to do it all the way around. And well, I don't know that I'll get all that done today, but I'm going to work on the back wall. So what I'm going to do is pull the half walls out and then put traditional 2x6 framing in there. And then we'll be able to sheet the outside of it and give it a lot of structural stability this way. And then obviously when we do the sidewalls, it'll give us the side to side as well and stabilize the building quite a bit. I'm going to clean the bottom plate and then lay out my 16 inches on center, then start cutting this loose and putting the framing in. So what I'm saying is that if I pull from this side behind me, all of these studs are relatively close. But if I pull from that side, then none of the studs line up, which means I can just cut the nails off and I don't have to worry about it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and mark this off from this end. And what I'll do is I'll make my marks along here, and then I'll come in and I'll measure each one, write them down, go cut them, and bring them back in and cut and nail into place. So I guess this one at 75.5, and that'll probably work. I've got this one at 75.5. That's good. I mean, if it was a 1/16 of an inch longer, it'd probably be a little bit better. But this will work just fine. Okay. All right. Going to be pretty much where I need it, so we're going to run with that. And as much as I have a tendency to want things to be as close to perfect as possible, this building just is never ever going to be, in a way that it's going to be super level, plumb, square, and everything else. Okay. There we go. All right, now we got pressure. That's dead on. Pretty doggone close. Make sure we stayed on plumb, which we did. So the reason I'm wearing sunglasses in here is these actually have my prescription in them, which means I can read a tape measure. This beam up top is twisted just a touch, not much, but just a little bit. Oh, this is coming in real nicely. I am definitely happy with the way this is turning out. I'm just going to cut this across and down just like I did the other one. Oh, those were just barely fastened. Man, that's nuts. So one thing I do want to say that the way I'm framing this is I'm setting it up so that I can run consistent sheets on the inside. On the 16 inches on center from this corner over. On the outside, I'm going to have funky measurements. So I'm going to be off one inside or outside one of the two places. I'm going to be off because I've got these 6x6 posts. So I did not measure in like 5.5 inches or something to start my first stud. I'm just going to deal with it when I get outside and start framing it. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that I do realize what I'm doing with this. And I'm just willing to have the hassle of, having to cut it the way I need to when I get out, get outside. It looks like it is really, really close. Oh man, that is dead on. I'll tell you, I'm getting very fortunate with this thing today. It is just working perfectly. Okay, that literally, you can't see it, but this is literally touching right here. And it is dead on. So, just gotta nail that off. Okay, slowly but surely, this wall is getting done, and I will be extremely happy getting this wall finished up. Done. Looks a little different than it did when we started, that's for sure. That is beautiful. Let's that is beautiful. Let's take a look. So I've got this double studded over here, and then that whole back wall is framed. Don't know how well you can see that, but as far as I'm concerned, that is a massive win. So these boards that are right here are in pretty good shape, and so I really don't want to cut a bunch of them off. I just don't want to do it. So I think what I'm going to try to do is just cut these and try to pull this board off so that I can keep these planks, because some of these are probably 16 feet long, 18 feet long. I just hate to cut them up. So let me see if I can get those pulled off. There we go, I think. Nice. Perfect. I am happy that I took the time not to tear up those boards. I mean, I'm going to have to spend a fair bit of time pulling the nails and getting it ready, but I mean, that literally, some of this stuff is 18, 20 feet, and you just can't find that kind of material now. So I want to make sure that I preserve that, and that I'm thinking when I finish this off, I may take this rough siding and use it on the inside. So we'll see. Well, it's been a really productive day today. Even though it was a short day, been very productive. So let's take a look at what I've gotten accomplished today. So I got that quarter done. And then I got all this stuff framed in. That post obviously we did before. And we got all this framed in. And we got it around to that point. So tomorrow I want to finish that off. And if I can, I want to finish this off. And then when I start doing this front wall, I've got that beam to replace up there. But I'm really happy with this. So even though it was a short day because it rained so much, got a lot done. So I'm super happy with that. Good morning. It is absolutely a beautiful day out today. It's nice and sunny. Low probability of rain, so I'm hoping to get a lot done on the framing. Okay. Take down this final section here. Get this done, and this wall is finished. Well, I think I'm gonna I may replace part of this post. It's not in horrible shape, but it's not in great shape. I may replace a piece of it. We'll take a look at it once it's completely off. Well, got this wall done. Still morning. Got a few errands to run today. I'm going to pick up a new reciprocating saw since this one crapped out. This DeWalt, gosh, I bet it's 20 years old easily, and I'm guessing I can get parts for it, and I will try, but I need to be able to keep working today, so I'm just going to go buy a new one and keep going. So I'm going to shut down for now, go run my errands. I'll be back in a little while. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to pull all this stuff off. The same thing I did on the other side basically, is pull all this stuff off the wall, restud it, and then once I get that done and get it restudded, then I'll do that wall over there, and I have to replace that top piece. So let's get started. Yeah, I think that did move. Yep. I'm going to need to pull some nails. But I'm going to do that later. For now, I'm going to, I'm going to put this last one in and then start thinking about what I'm going to do up here and how I'm going to fix this. All right, well, took longer to frame this wall than I had expected it to today. Took the better part of the day, which I don't know why it took so long when I got so much of the other stuff done, but it did. And it's actually all in really good shape. So now I have to try to figure out what I'm doing with this wall here. So I'm going to turn the camera off, take some measurements, try to figure out what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back. All right, well, I've thought about it. I'm going to call it a day. There's still some more figuring and deciding I need to do. What I'm looking at, and I pointed this out before, this is rotten right there. Right there in that little section's rotten. And I'm going to replace it, which I know that. But what I'm thinking about doing is replacing this 6x6 all the way across, because it's just not in phenomenal shape. And if I do that, then it gives me a lot more flexibility, because I don't know if you can tell, but that wall is only about 4.5 feet tall there. So it really makes the room a lot smaller. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I've already got the floor joist for this, is to pop this thing up. When I say pop it up, put the second floor on it, and then take the walls out that are up there in the roof completely, just kind of cut the second floor off, or the second walls off, second story off, and then completely reframe it with the walls at 8 feet. And if I do that, then that just gives me a lot of flexibility down the road, and it's easy framing, because then I just frame the walls and stand them up, and you know, it's just pretty standard framing at that point in time. Also, the door, let me take you outside here. The way this thing was set up before is that this had a gable on it, which you can kind of see up there, the paint. And then right next to it was a front door for the second floor, which never made any sense to me. So that never made any sense to have that there. So here's what I'm thinking about doing. And if you want to comment on this and tell me what you think, that's fine as well. This is going to stay an opening, this big opening here, because I will, once I move the building, I'm going to put a pop out here. But what I'm thinking about doing is making these two maybe gables or something like that, and then moving the entrance over here. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't, but moving the entrance over here to this side, and doing that. If I do that, it just gives me a lot more flexibility, because ultimately I'm walking back here so that you can see this a little bit bigger picture, is that you can see the barn is there, or the fire station is there. I want to turn it almost 90 degrees so it sits kind of right here where the backhoe is and comes out this direction, so that where the big opening is, we'll have maybe an 8-foot pop out that will come this direction. Well, actually it'll be over here, and then you would enter on this side, and I could put windows up, and just basically give myself a whole bunch of flexibility on the upper story in the future. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it just gives me a lot of flexibility, and I'm about 90% sure that's what I'm going to do. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. If you've got thoughts about what I should do with this upper part, just go ahead and throw those out there as well. And yeah, just give me your comments. Sorry, I'm just bunny trailed. Give me your comments. I would really appreciate it if you would follow along on the channel. Give me a thumbs up, a like. That really helps out a lot. I'm just getting started on the channel. So all of that stuff will help grow the subscribers. And if you like the content, you know, let me know. So have a great day. And I'm going to come back tomorrow and finish framing on that wall, and then I'll let you know what I've decided. I think I've decided to do on the second floor. So have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.